to talk about God is speaking. God is speaking to us. My question of all of us, though, is are we listening? God speaks more than we know or we recognize, and it's our awareness of his voice that ebbs and flows. We've got a beautiful example of this in Moses at Exodus 3, verse 4. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. So we can see that there's this beautiful interplay between Moses and God. Now, how many burning bushes had Moses gone past? I mean, that is the interesting question, isn't it? Because apparently burning bushes out in the desert were a common occurrence, but there was something about this burning bush that caught Moses' attention, and he stopped and he looked to see. And when God saw that he had gone over to look to see, God then called him from within the bush and he said, Moses, Moses. And Moses fortunately said, Here I am. And so the exchange went forth. Moses is called into his destiny. He's spent all that time wandering around in the wilderness, so to speak, and at the far edge of the wilderness. How many of us feel like we've been at the far edge of the wilderness? At the far edge of the wilderness, after many years of doing his thing in the wilderness, Moses's purpose, his people, his place, his thing to do, his kingdom dynamic purpose was actually materialized from within the burning bush. It's only when God saw that Moses stopped to turn to see that he spoke. So I'm here to say to you, how many burning bushes do you think you might have walked past? How many times has God been trying to catch our attention by crazy coincidences or unusual circumstances, or when you go, gosh, that was so weird? Well, stop in that moment. Stop. Turn to God and say, are you speaking to me? What do you have to say about me? About this situation. It could be that God is just talking to us, and he just wants to catch our attention so he can tell us that he loves us. Other times there's a profound interaction that is going to take place, like it did for Moses. But other times it might be that he wants you to stop and reach out to someone that is highlighting as you go about your day. Regardless, that is God seeing you. We all need to be seen, known, and heard. And of course, the power of being seen by God, the power of recognizing the fact that he sees us, he knows us, and he calls us by name is profound. We can see that in the interaction between the angel of the Lord and Hagar when she's running away from the terrible situation that she's in when she's pregnant. And Sarah has got really upset, quite jealous of her because she got pregnant to Abraham, and she's running away again in the desert, and she says, oh, you are the God who sees me. You are El Roi, the God who sees. And she was carrying the promise of the God who hears. That's what Ishmael means. God hears. So in that interaction, you can see that God is letting her know, I see you, I hear you, you have a purpose, you have a place. I want you to go back into the challenging situation and actually see through your prophetic destiny, Hagar. So too Moses, he is told, go back from whence you came, go back to Egypt. Moses was raised education, princely ways, because he was raised in the royal palace of Egypt. So when he had that interaction of who am I, God's like, well, you're Moses. We might all say, well, who am I to go, God? And it's like, well, you're you. We need you. I was having a chat today with the pastor of our new church, and she was like, oh, I preached on this a couple of weeks ago, and I went, I think God is so on this at the moment. It's like, you think you don't qualify? Well, you do. You're living, you're breathing, and you love Jesus. You qualify. Get out there. Go do your thing that he has created you, because you are a masterpiece. You have a purpose. You have a place. You have a people. You have a destiny that he wrote upon your heart before time began. He purposed you in his heart. Jesus died on the cross with you in mind. So I'm calling you all to step out and forth, stand tall, and inhabit the land that God has actually given to you. So learning to recognize God's voice in a moment, everywhere and anytime, is something that He is calling us to do. And then once we have that prophetic word, that understanding of what God is saying, it's actually incumbent on us to step into what it is that He's asking us to do. I actually think that there's a part of the church that is so fat with prophetic purpose and promise, but they're not doing anything with their prophetic words. And then there's another part of the church that is saying prophecy is not for today. And I'm like, what about the word that is the rhema word that comes alive when you're reading the Bible? Even the most traditional Christian who doesn't believe in the gift of prophecy at the moment will acknowledge that there is logos and there is rhema. I mean, Jesus actually said, man does not live by bread alone, but from the very word that proceeds, the now word that proceeds from the mouth of God. It's about finding the now word and stepping forth and doing the now word. And I think that is really what is that is the word for now. It is literally stand tall. It's like my prophetic word that I released a few years ago. Stand tall, tall poppies, and shine in the sphere of influence into which you have been called, understanding who you are and whose you are. You have a people, place, and a purpose. Get out there and do it. So I'm just jumping on really quickly. I'm also saying doors are open, prophetic mastery, open until October 20. There's a link in there. Check it out. Pardon me. I'm going to sneeze. I've been cleaning and there's a bit dusty. All right. So you have a purpose. You need to learn how to recognize God's voice in your life for you. Come refine your gift for 12 months. Accelerate into your purpose. Come join the most amazing, wonderful gathering of people, highly sensitive ones who are not necessarily highly sensitive, but they're creative, or ones that just are called to business. Like, we have amazing people in prophetic mastery. So come check that out as well. We only do a certain number of intakes per year. And once we're full too. We just close doors. So that's it. No more. Sorry, no more. So October 20, come along, have fun, grow in your gift, grow into your purpose, come gather to grow, and then go into all the world, because we need all hands on